You don't move to South Korea to fall in love. You move to South Korea because you're 28 and your life back home has the structural integrity of wet cardboard. You've got a nursing degree that 250,000 other people also got that year. A lease on an apartment with a mold problem the landlord calls character, and a string of relationships so short your friends stopped learning names and started using descriptions. The CrossFit guy, the one with the motorcycle, the one who proposed after 6 weeks and then disappeared after 7. Your sister asks what the plan is. You don't have a plan. You have a job offer from an international hospital in Seoul you applied to at 2 a.m. after 3 glasses of wine, a one-way ticket to Incheon, and the deeply unearned confidence of a woman whose backup plan is figuring it out. 1 year in, out, done. You are not looking for anything permanent because permanent is a word for people who have their life together and you can barely keep a houseplant alive. You land in Seoul with $2,300, 2 suitcases that are mostly scrubs and sweaters, and jet lag so aggressive it feels personal. Your first week is a blur of convenience store ramen, Papago translator failures, and the slow realization that Seoul is not the K-drama backdrop you saw on Netflix. It's a machine. 10 million people moving through it with a precision that makes you feel like a dropped coin rolling against the current. You find an apartment in Mapogu. 1 room, a kitchen the size of a suggestion, and walls so thin you can hear your neighbor's 17-step skincare routine every morning. The rent is 1.2 million won a month. In Seoul, that's reasonable. Everywhere else, it's a closet with plumbing. You meet Seojun on a Saturday afternoon in April at a coffee shop in Itaewon. You order in Korean. It's bad Korean. The barista gives you the look. Then someone behind you says, in English, she wants the Ethiopian single origin, medium roast for here. You turn. He's not looking at you. He's looking at his phone. But he's smiling slightly. You should be offended. You're not. You're grateful. You say thank you in Korean, and he corrects your pronunciation. It's not Gamesehamanida like that. The G is softer. I've been saying it wrong for 4 months. Probably. But most people are too polite to correct you. You're not most people. No, he says. I'm not. Something about his honesty catches you off guard. You laugh. He doesn't laugh, but his eyes do something that might be the Korean equivalent. You want to see it again. You say something dumb about coffee. But you're already in trouble, and you don't know it yet. Coffee becomes lunch. Lunch becomes dinner at places he picks. A noodle shop in Yeoljiro, where the owner has no menu. A tteokbokki stand near Dongdaemun run by a woman who calls everyone baby. He shows you the city from the inside. The palace walls at night. The Pojangmaka tents along the Han River. The city becomes warmer. More like somewhere that might let you stay. He's reserved at first. Not cold. Reserved. He takes 5 dates to tell you something personal. You learn later that someone broke him badly 3 years before you showed up. The walls you're seeing aren't personality. They're engineering. When he starts letting them down, you feel the weight of what that costs him. You date for a year. He meets your family over video call. Your mother asks if he's one of those K-pop boys within 3 minutes. His family is different. His mother asks questions that sound warm but are structured like a job interview. Do you cook? Can you make kimchi? You leave that dinner not knowing if you've been accepted or cataloged. He proposes on a Tuesday evening. No restaurant. Just his apartment. Delivery chicken going cold. Rain against the windows. He says, I can't wait anymore. So this is me not waiting. You say yes before he finishes. Then you laugh. He laughs too. Unreserved. Unguarded. You file this evening somewhere safe because you have a feeling you're going to need it later. The wedding is 2 ceremonies. One in Seoul with hanbok and bowing. One in Ohio with a DJ who plays songs nobody requested. Your mother cries at everything. His aunt offers her a handkerchief. They bond over it. The 2 families communicate through nodding and pointing at the couple and making emotional faces. You stay. The apartment gets replaced by a bigger one in Seongsadong. You buy a couch. A bookshelf. A ceramic frog at a flea market because Seojun says it reminds him of you. The neighborhood starts to know you. You're building something. It feels like it might last. Then Jaiwoo is born. There is nothing that prepares you. But then you're in the room, and there's a sound. And then there's a person. Jaiwoo. She has your nose and his eyes and an expression of absolute fury at being born. They put her in your arms and everything else becomes the background of a photograph where she is the subject. You develop a bedtime ritual. The same book every night. The Cloud Bread. Two cats who eat magical bread and learn to fly. Jaiwoo falls asleep on page 8 every time. You keep reading pages 9 through 32 to yourself because stopping in the middle feels wrong. You don't know it yet, but this detail is going to break you later. Saturday mornings become sacred. Seojun makes pancakes. Jaiwoo distributes rice across every surface. You walk to the park. She points at dogs and says a word that means everything and nothing. You are not building a life anymore. You are inside one. And it fits. Jaiwoo is 2 when the texture changes. Your mother mentions during a video call that grandchildren should know their grandparents. Your father's health is declining. A fall. A broken hip. Your mother can't manage alone. You ask if you can take Jaiwoo to Ohio for a month. He agrees because love means trusting someone with the thing you can't live without. He puts you both in a taxi to Incheon. Jaiwoo waves with both hands. He waves back until the taxi turns the corner. A month becomes 2. Then 3. Then you sit down with him during a visit, and your voice sounds like something that has already landed. You say you don't think you can come back to Korea. You say you're sorry. You say you love him. There is no villain. You are not cruel. He is not blameless. You want to be near your family. You want Jaiwoo to know where you came from. You want things that are not unreasonable, and that's what makes it so hard for him to fight. He finds a lawyer. She explains that international custody is complicated. You had his consent to travel. This is not abduction. This is a custody dispute. The distinction is legal. The pain is the same. The best he can hope for is summers and winters. If everyone agrees, and everyone agreeing is rare, the arrangement is finalized on a Thursday. Primary custody to you. Visitation for him. 6 weeks in summer, 2 weeks in winter. His first summer visit, he flies to Ohio. Jaiwoo is 3 now. Her hair is longer. She speaks more English than Korean. She looks at him with something between recognition and hesitation. Like she knows his face, but isn't sure where it goes in her life anymore. He brought the cloud bread. She sees the cover, and something lights up in her face. He opens the book. He does the voices. She leans into him on page 3 this time. Not page 8. Page 3. Like she's been waiting longer than she knows how to say. She falls asleep on page 8. Same as always. He reads pages 9 through 32 to himself because stopping in the middle still feels wrong. You appear at the door. You take Jaiwoo gently. She stirs and waves with one hand. A small wave, already turning away. He sits in the rental car for 40 minutes because his hands won't stop shaking. He flies home. The apartment is quiet. On the refrigerator, there is a drawing Jaiwoo made before any of this happened. A house. A son. 3 people. She said the tall one was Appa. The small one was her. The medium one was Amma. He asked why the sun had so many lines. She said because it's very sunny.
He said how sunny?
She said the most sunny. They both laughed. He leaves the drawing on the refrigerator. He has never been able to take it down. His mother calls. She says he should move on. It lands as a verdict.
Move on.
As if the last 5 years were a detour. As if Jaiwoo is a chapter he can close. He can't explain it to anyone who hasn't lived it. The loss that has no edges. Jaiwoo is alive. She is in Ohio. She is growing up. And twice a year he gets a few weeks to watch it happen. Nobody planned this. He married someone he loved. He held his daughter every night and read past the page where she fell asleep because stories shouldn't stop in the middle even when everything else does. Saturday mornings he still wakes up early. The apartment is quiet. No pancakes. No small hand grabbing his hair. Somewhere in Ohio, Jaiwoo is waking up too. He wouldn't know. It's not summer yet. His summer is 6 weeks a year. Page 8. And Seoul keeps moving. 10 million people in 10 million small lives. Not one of them required to notice his. That's the thing about cities this size. There's always room for one more quiet story that nobody finishes reading.